Hi, my name is Tim Gillingham. I've been shooting for Hoyt for 2 years now. The bow I shoot, and what I'm going to shoot exclusively this year, is Advantage Elite Plus with 3,000 limbs. Now, this is a custom bow from the Hoyt Custom Shop. I'm a 33-inch draw length, big, tall guy. One of the problems I run into is finding, bows to fit me. But it's really nice shooting for Hoyt since I have, 3 cams available to me. I can shoot a spiral cam, which is the fastest by far. I mean, I really love this cam. I can get a ton of speed out of this bow. This bow still IBOs out at 328 feet a second. So, and it's a 44-inch axle-to-axle bow. One of the things I like about Hoyt too is the speed. I mean, they're always as advertised or faster, I'm finding. So, it's a great bow. Whether you choose Advantage Elite with 2,000 limbs, 3,000 limbs, a contender, or an Alpha Elite, you're going to get a good bow from Hoyt. Okay, now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about one of the features on my 3D bow that I believe is a really big advantage in 3D. Now, a lot of guys shoot lenses. Some guys don't shoot lenses for different various reasons, but I do believe the scope setup that I have is an extreme advantage in competing. Now, for a lot of years, getting ready for 3D and trying to learn the sport of 3D, I really struggled trying to find an aiming aperture that was absolutely perfect, something that was really finite, that I could aim really small with. And we're always aiming off a detail on the animals, whether it's an arrow hole. Typically, the arrow holes are always up and down on the target. And so we want to find something that we can aim at that detail and still see, around the pin and around the aperture. Also want a little magnification if we can so that the target looks bigger and we can aim even smaller. The scope I'm shooting here is a classic Magnum. And similar to binoculars, the basic fundamentals are you want a big scope and a big peep. The bigger you go with the peep, the bigger you go with the scope, the brighter the sight picture. Now let's look a little closer here on the aiming aperture we use and the LP light kit here, which is really key to this whole system. Okay, one of the most important parts of a 3D setup, and what you'll see most of the competitors out here using, is an LP light kit. This is just basically a battery pack that's mounted on the side of the bow or the side of the sight. It's made by LP Archery Products. You can get it at Lancaster or LP Archery Products website. It allows you to change the power of light that's transmitted to your fiber. And a lot of shooters out here are running a blue fiber. And in order to run blue fiber, you need to pump a blue light into it. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. So, if you look here closely, we can actually turn this fiber up and down based on the lighting conditions. So, if I get a really, bright target with a lot of sunlight out in the open, I may need to turn that light up so that I can see it. But it allows you to see that sight pin exactly the same every time, and to eliminate some of the halo that you get, around your pin, with a fiber optic. Okay, one of the reasons a lot of your shooters opt to, not use a Clarifier peep or a scope lens is really inclement weather and or the reputation that Clarifiers have gotten for giving you left and rights. Now, if you'll notice here on my peep sight, I actually have a piece of shrink tubing around my peep. It creates a tube along the peep sight. Now, I've learned over the process of elimination over a few years that I get left and rights when I turn the corner on the range. And what causes this is the refraction of the light coming in at different angles on the piece of glass in the Clarifier peep. But I also know that the advantage of a clear scope with a Clarifier peep is a big enough advantage that I want to try to figure out how to fix these problems. So what I've discovered is that by tubing the peep out with a piece of shrink tubing, just simple shrink tubing, it really cuts down these left and rights you get when you change, light angles. A lot of guys also do not like Clarifier peeps when they're shooting in the rain. I typically just come prepared. I come prepared to clean it. Come prepared to clean my scope out. I take some, some Q-tips with me. I have a little pack with me. Also, I carry this little snap cap that Gary Coffey from Coffey Archery sells, and you can actually snap this on your peep, on your string. So when you're done shooting and you're shooting in the rain here, the combination of the peep tubing and this particular snap cap will keep that rain off your peep, and you may have to only clean it once or twice throughout the round. You just have to slow down in the rain. The advantages of a Clarifier, are very, advantageous in the field. I believe that I just don't shoot quite as well unless I'm shooting a Clarifier and a scope combination. I've shot without a scope at all. It just makes the target look, quite a ways away. I don't aim quite as precise. And for me, myself, I do like a little more magnification.